Hello my friends and welcome to my channel. Thank you very much for coming, and I hope you find this content to be resourceful and helpful throughout your struggles and throughout your life-changing process. What I did on my own journey on self-discovering and how it happened to me, it might not occur to you the same way, because we all know that we are different and we have different life paths and we were brought up with different beliefs, so we don't relate to the same things and we don't identify with the same struggles and life experiences. So self-healing and self-development. When I came to understand this word for the first time and understand what self-development means or self-growth means, was right after the very first time I watched Mel Robbins' TED Talk, which went viral on the internet, and it was basically a coincidence. It was I wasn't searching for it or anything, and I was looking for ways to change my life, because I knew the place that I was in that moment, it wasn't good, and I also knew that there is something else, something better at the end of the tunnel or in the other side, and I knew that I just have to find a way to pass through this and just reach that inner peace that somehow I knew it is inside me, but I was searching somewhere outside. So yeah, I saw this TED Talk of Mel Robbins, which was mind-blowing for me at that time, and I can't believe I was like so limited. And of course I am still and trying to learn and trying to improve every day, but I've come very far, or I've come far from since I started, but there's still a long journey right in front, and I'm never going to settle again for whatever my situation or my circumstances are. I have come to realize that, you know, I have to take ownership and responsibility for my actions and for my thought. And once I understood that, in the beginning was a bit hard, I must confess. I still wanted to blame the external world. I don't know if I say that right in English. You might have figured, if this is the first video you watch, that English is not my first language. So please forgive me for any mistakes that I might do. I didn't want to understand that I have to change. I thought whole world needs to change. But I knew that I haven't set any boundaries in my life. I victimized myself for a very long time, and you might be in this situation as well. I really victimized myself, and I was almost crying every time I would remember my childhood. So then this wasn't good, because these memories and this past would just come back and completely change my state of mind and completely change the way I felt. So my past was controlling my present. Of course, it wasn't ideal, but this is what I was facing, and I was desperately looking for something to change the way I see life, or to change the way I live, because I knew that wasn't the way. I was smoking a lot, and I was living a very unhealthy lifestyle. I wasn't working out at all, and never watching what I eat, and eat whatever I want, and chaotic, really, the lifestyle I had. So then I was desperate to change my life. I didn't know how. I talked with this Mel Robbins talk, which was eye-opening for me, and then I've come to find these amazing people everywhere, and then I started to read. Suddenly I started to work out, I started to tried to eat healthy. I quit smoking, which I didn't believe it was possible. And then into how I did this. Please let me know in the comment section below if you want me to make a video about how all these changes occurred, because I'm not gonna go that deep into this topic. So I did all these changes. I did all these changes, and I figured out that I'm capable of it. I figured out that I can do it. I start trusting myself a little more. I started loving myself a little more, and then I was just so thirsty for all this knowledge that was out there and so accessible to me. And I was very grateful to find Jordan Peterson, and then Wayne Dyer, and then Mel Robbins, and then Deepak Chopra, and then the holistic psychologist, which has an Instagram profile and also a YouTube channel. Go and watch her. The Road Less Traveled, which was as well very important in my life-changing process. And as I as I pursue this path, I realized that actually the change, it doesn't happen on the external world, it happens only inward. And just the way you look at things, it changes really. If you clear your mind from all those bad thoughts that usually are full of venom. So if we really clear our mind of all that bad thoughts and dark thoughts, then life gets easier. Not in a way that we are stupidly positive, just looking at the good side, oh never mind, everything will be okay. Not in this way. You have to really be willing from within, from inside. You have to be able and ready to really accept yourself the way you are, and just the same as I did. And this is a tough journey. I'm just about to cry how happy I am that I discovered this path. And for many of you who don't find that happiness, in the superficial world, just take a moment, take a deep breath, search for the right people, because when the student is ready, the teacher will show up. This is what they say, and I figured it's true. This is what happened with me. Most importantly, as you will stop feeling alone the moment you will understand you are enough. The moment you understand you are enough, you are not alone anymore, and you are not in search of superficial relationships. You are just going for deeper conversations, and you are just going for deeper connections with others. And this life is really beautiful when you have the right pair of lenses to see. So this is my opinion on self-development and how I see self-growth or personal growth. But either way you look at things, as long as it means to improve yourself and become a better person and become very close to the ideal person that you have in mind, you are on a good path. You are on a good way. And just never stop growing, and always learn more and listen to what people really say carefully. We are not the slaves of our feelings. Our feelings teach us what we should improve, what we should work on. Whenever we get angry, frustrated, anxious, scared, fearful. So I just wanted to open up and express a little bit how I feel about self-development and how I feel about personal growth and what was my own journey. And follow my channel, of course, if you just like something about this video. Yeah, that's it. Thank you very much.